Morning and welcome to Gardening 36556, and this is a special because it's my birth age. Now, I'll give you a little clue what I mean. I'm not 365 years old, so I might have given away how old I am. Okay, I'm hoping you enjoy the video. It is wet today after a long period of dry weather. It's now very wet out here. So I will be getting out because the theme of our channel is gardening 365 days of the year, so it's not going to stop me today. And to make garlic water, all you do is simply boil garlic in water. For how long, it doesn't really matter. I would say 10-15 minutes would be fine. Let it cool, take out the garlic and put the water into your sprayer and spray that onto your beans, and that'll stop the black aphids. I'm just about to go outside, but before I go out I'm going to give the houseplants a feed, and I use water out of the duck pond mixed with a little bit of tomato feed. So I'm just going to give them this. I'm just going to apply some of the feed. Now I always feed from the top and then water down into the bottom. Feed from the top, water from the bottom. So I'm just going to put a bit on this. This is the castor oil plant, and the other one is an hibiscus. The yucca gets the same, but I don't put quite so much on this one because it doesn't like a lot of moisture. Peace lily. I'm just going to show you this. This is a bloom that's just dying off. They go green and then the flower dies off, and then the new ones are the white ones. This is one just turning. And I'm going to give my bird of paradise a feed. And this is one plant that I don't feed. This is a saccharina, and it's one of the carnivorous plants. So it eats flies, and that's the only feed it needs. And if you look at one of the trumpets, you can see where it's dark, and that's all of the flies and stuff that it's collected. Really nice plant and a great addition to our house plants. In the greenhouse now, the rain stopped, but it's really damp and murky outside. But in the greenhouse I feel good, and one of the main reasons why is it's that time of the year when the tomatoes are ripening. And these are possibly a good month earlier than most people's, and the reason why I did put these in very early, the plants themselves are not looking particularly healthy, but the tomatoes are good, and that's the main thing. So I'm going to pick now a small bowl of tomatoes to take in the house. We have had some before, these are not the first, but it still makes you feel good. And definitely not the biggest haul of tomatoes I'll have this year, but puts a smile on my face. I'm providing food for the table, and these will be infinitely better than any supermarket bought tomato, packed with goodness from our garden. It's what it's all about. We've been starting to get a few comments on YouTube, and it's been really great. One of our people who subscribed, Johnny, he put some really great tips here. Thanks. Okay, and that's really appreciate that sort of feedback. And also somebody called First Rule put lovely work, lovely nature. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so please leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the videos, positive or negative. If it's negative, I'll try and improve. If it's positive, obviously thank you very much. And also, if there's anything you'd like me to cover on any of these YouTube videos, please ask me and I'll try and cover it on future uploads. So please be interactive, and thank you. Now to get on with some work. Our next little job is to side shoot the tomatoes and tie them up. Now you've seen me covering this on previous videos. I think it was Gardening 36554, so I won't be filming that again, but obviously your tomatoes do need maintenance. Now these are the tomatoes that I pulled out of the compost, growing in the greenhouse only a couple of weeks ago, and if you see how well they've grown recently, but now becoming a little bit leggy, so it's time to pot them up and to give them a little bit more light. Now my potato chip challenge potato has got unwanted visitors on them, and this is a white fly. So what am I going to do to get rid of this white fly? You probably know the answer from what I've done earlier in the video. And the answer is garlic water. No, that's not for vampires. It's for killing aphids and bugs. And I've given it a good spray now. Now the white fly ain't going to like the smell of that stuff. It pongs. So what they'll do, hopefully, is vacate their current location, which is on my potato. And they'll go somewhere else. Hopefully not on my potato or anything else of mine. Black fly like my beans, so they're going to have a bit of a spray as well. I'm just about to try the first potatoes out of the garden. We've had some out of containers, but these will be the very first out of the garden. I wonder what they're going to be like. And not the biggest harvest ever, but they will be absolutely gorgeous new potatoes. So I'm really looking forward to having them. And they're the very first out of the garden. One root, and that's not such a bad return, I suppose. Some fresh spinach, which will be really nice. And some very large spring onions, which will also be very nice. And tonight's evening meal is spinach with spring onions, the very first courgette out of the garden this year, freshly pulled carrots, and little tiny garlic. All together to make a stir fry with the first potatoes out of the garden with some apple mint, served with pulled pork. Absolutely delicious. Well, that concludes this week's Gardening 365. Thanks ever so much for watching. Keep inviting your friends to Facebook. Please go along to YouTube and subscribe. We still need more people subscribed to the channel. Quite a few people watching now, and make sure that you leave a comment. That would be really appreciated. And again, thank you for watching. See you next time for Gardening 365 57. Bye.